What's up? Happy Jellyroll Friday. How are things? Well, I don't know how this show is going to go, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure we're going to be all over the place. It is Jellyroll Friday, and that means, I used to know somebody we call Jellyroll for reasons having to probably do with something we shouldn't have been talking about, but whatever, who cares? So this is Jellyroll. It's just when we're all over the place. We just say what we want. We pull up the story and we get to some answers and we take action. Action. What's up, James Owens First Live? How in the world are you on this Friday afternoon? It's gonna be kind of chilly in Colorado this weekend. I think snow on Sunday. So April and May are the quirky months in Colorado where, the ski resorts have no snow all winter, and that's how it's been. And then all of a sudden they're getting 2 feet of snow, 3 feet of snow. So it's bipolar weather here. But what's up, everybody? How are you? We're going to talk about like something last night. I'm trying to do it a little bit earlier and getting a set schedule here because that's important. Consistency is important. So I'm trying to find the secret sauce here. So thank you for hanging out and spending some time with me. I always appreciate that because you could be anywhere, but you here listening to me rant because there's so much to talk about every single day. What's up, Chris? Thank you for tuning in. Tired, hot and dry. Really dry here. Crack you a beer. Crack you a beer. I have a celebratory beers I think I bought when I first got this house, and they're still in there. And that was years ago. So I don't really care about cracking open a cold one when I'm by myself, but I don't know, when I hang out sometimes it's definitely cold beer time. That is certainly in order. You crack you one open and pour out one for your homie or toss it up. No, don't pour one out for your homie because that means shit. No, don't do that. Don't do that, Twiggy. I'm glad to see you nonetheless. Man, what the freak is going on? I don't know. Maybe we'll go in order. I said I was going to talk about the USAID thing. Let's do that and get that craziness out of the way, and then we can spend some time talking about these Slopcasters, as I call them. It's really, it's come to a head with these Slopcasters. Slopcasters. They have done nothing beneficial for the movement and what we are trying to do. And they've been self-serving. And I do not believe they know what's at stake. Or maybe they do, and they just don't give a flying flip. And they are willing to turn this country over to the jihadis, the Marxist left, and the communists. And they just don't care. And I've said it before, don't listen to these people. They're rich. They can leave on private jets at a moment's notice. But let's talk about USAID first. New York Times posted this article that I'm not going to sit there and read that bullshit. They posted this article about this female who probably got paid to sit there and whine and grab a tissue. Oh, Lord have mercy. I gotta take a $19 hour job. Oh, Lord have mercy. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Trump just fired me. Trump fired me. Oh, freaking when. I put out a video about it earlier because I'm just so put aback. I've had it with these whining former federal employees, bro. I've had it. You had your time, dog. Some of y'all was there for years, and y'all have been able to amass a small fortune that a lot of people would be very, very envious of. And it just bothersome that these individuals are still whining a year and a half later after you've been laid off. Now, this is the where is that one at? Here it is. Let me bring it over so I can kind of remind people about what I was talking about when I put that video out earlier. This individual, this was posted by Alec McGillis. I'm going to use this same one. And she's 57. Cheryl Cowan, making $272,000 a year as a senior VP at USAID funded nonprofit when she was let go at the end of March 2025. Last month, she had an online interview for a $19 an hour job managing a Penzeys Spices store in Falls Church, Virginia. Do you expect me to be sad? Does she expect us to just start pulling out tissues and whining for her? Are we supposed to just, someone needs to do something? No, we don't need to do nothing. We don't need to do anything. None of you losers had anything to say when Joe Biden did the same exact thing. Y'all don't see, I'm not clicking on this article. I could care less about this bitch and anybody else who's whining because they were a federal employee and they were left. Or what's happened quite a bit is the say hi to me, Chicago. What's up, Northwestern? Oh, you went to Northwestern. Right on. What's up? What's up? Hi, James. Oh, the federal employee whining again about losing the job. She wasn't a federal employee. My bad. This individual worked for one of the NGOs that were paid USAID. And when USAID was shut down for good under the Trump administration, worldwide, you saw countries and NGOs, charitable organizations, and I got air quotes with that were completely shutting down. There are so many articles and so many posts about countries talking about, oh, well, our program, we're not going to be able to feed, African kids with club feet. Down our organization, we're not going to have any money to operate. We're not going to have any money to keep going. We're going to have to shut down. And you heard it from across the planet. And it's like, wait one freaking minute. So y'all mean to tell me that you were surviving as an NGO solely based off American taxpayer money? Where are your private donors? Like, aren't you people associated with wealthy donors? Why aren't you hitting up Steve Jobs' widow? That bitch seems to have plenty of far leftist causes. What about McKinsey what's her name, who was married to Jeff Bezos of Amazon. That bitch got $100 billion fucking dollars. She don't do nothing but donate to leftist causes. She'll never have to work a day in any lifetime. I don't even know if they got kids or not, but McKinsey, she's constantly donating to leftist causes. Constantly. Like, that's all she does. And sleeps with black men because she, you know, she's just all in those situations. She couldn't wait to get black dick going, I guess. Guess Jeff Bezos wasn't giving it to her. So first thing she did is went and found some black dude to tighten her ass up. God, Twiggy, I'm cutting up already, my darling. Yeah, Twiggy did this. This is because of I'm blaming you. Lord. Twiggy said they was not spending that money on that. It was going to their pockets. That's absolutely correct. That is, I'm gonna try to find some of those while I'm playing one of these videos. A lot of them. There were a lot of these organizations. Oh, we're going to have to shut down operations. Oh, we're not going to have any money for starving weeds outside in the yard. We're not going to have money to even keep the lights on. We can't even pay the light bill. We can't pay any gas bills. We can't have any. We're going to have to be outside starting a fire, and then it's going to light on fire and the forest is going to burn down, and we don't have USAID. So the only purpose USAID served was doling out money pretty much to themselves and to their corporate interests, their lobbyists who stayed in front of members of Congress to keep their self-interests at the front of the congregation. So our tax money was being laundered and just used over and over for causes that we would never, ever support. That don't seem right to me. So when the only individuals who are whining about USAID being shut down are crank far leftists, the whore Jezebel, Sodom and Gomorrah media, and the sycophants who follow them and listen to their garbage. Nobody cares about USAID. Why should I care about this individual making $272 grand a year? I didn't make near that much money when I was a federal employee. That I did what I'll just full disclosure here. I was working in oil and gas, and I loved that job. I loved working oil and gas. I loved working with a bunch of dudes. It was just dudes. It was amazing. There was no whining bitches in the office. There were no drama because it wasn't a bunch of bitches in there screeching and sleep their way to the top. It was just me and a few other females, and they worked way on the other side in compliance and safety. So I didn't really see them. But oil and gas, I love, and I should have stayed there. But instead, I went to work for the federal government, whatever. You know, I'm not decrying that experience, but I learned a lot. I'll say that. I learned a lot. I came in during a very crucial time. I came in when the migrant crisis invasion was happening. And during the time because remember, this overlapped with the pandemic. So the pandemic was going on at the same time as the migrant invasion. All this was happening simultaneously, and it was, I don't even know how it got managed. Oh yeah, it didn't. So over here, you know, I'm working with the region partners and the Office of Refugee Resettlement, and that's right, the put an L in there, pandemic. And it got so bad during the migrant invasion that the federal employees who thought that they were, you know, too good and snooty to do anything else, Biden had to come to them and say, look, I'm gonna need you to trade your cushy office job into border detail. You're gonna have to do border detail. All of y'all, everybody pretty much is going to have to participate with the migrant invasion and do border detail on some level. It was crazy. It was crazy. My coworkers, some of them did not come back. They came back to the office where we worked, but they were changed forever by what they saw. They were changed forever by the human tragedy that took place under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, because a lot of these individuals who came over there during that time were unaccompanied children. And I talk about it often because I don't want people to forget how this went down. A lot of these kids did not speak. They came from regions of Guatemala where they did not speak English. They didn't speak Spanish. They spoke ancient Incan dialect. You know, the Aztecs and the Incas, 1,000+ year old civilizations, they spoke that language. So they had no idea what was going on. There was nobody to interpret the language. These kids were just several of my coworkers had to go to counseling. They just could not it was hard for them to deal with life. They had nobody. Their parents, the villagers, everybody they knew were back at home. They come to with all these strangers and nobody speaks their language. You can't even communicate with them. I've said myself, and I worked for them. I worked for the biggest human trafficking federal agency in the history of mankind. It's better now because it's under righteous leadership. But back then, and yeah, Twiggy, it was trafficking. They were trafficking humans, dude. The cartels were working with the federal agencies, dude. It was a not conjecture. The only way that could have happened on that level is that they all had to be participating on some level. So this individual, let me hop back over here to her, who worked for USAID, was nothing more than a highly paid welfare recipient. She was on welfare. She was on welfare. She was getting a check from taxpayers in that welfare. Were they going to the elite? I'll say this, Twiggy. Remember in February of 2021, Biden completely removed the requirements for sponsors and guardians to take in these kids. Remember that? They did away with FBI background checks in, I think it was February of 2021. Completely did away with it. So these people were in drive lines of cars just pulling up. What you want? What you want? What kind of kids you want? We got them. We got them. What you want? You want from Mexico? We got them. What you want? You want El Salvador? We got them. What you want? You want a girl? You want a boy? You want 15 girls? You want 15 boys? We shouldn't even have to share a country with these demons after what they did to foreign children. And I talk a lot of shit about illegals. I really do, because I'm freaking right. You don't treat foreigners better than you treat your own citizens. That shit is not going to ever be tolerated. But these kids, these innocent kids, were sold into slavery by their parents, their guardians in their home country. They were sold to the cartels. Some of them, they were told that their children were going to America and that you could join them later, but that your kids had to go. All kinds of stories going back and forth. Tara Rodas, she and I have talked before. She worked for HHS, so she knows what I'm talking about. She was a whistleblower for HHS. You can't gaslight her. You should follow her on X. I think she's still on there. I haven't talked to her in a while, but I met her at a local event, and we talk on X every once in a while. I haven't talked to her in a while. Tara Rodas. She is testified in front of Congress. She has worked with different organizations in support of these children because she came into this job. She was already, really senior level job, but she really thought that she was doing this great thing for children. She's married to an El Salvadoran man, and she speaks fluent Spanish. And what she saw changed her life forever, and not for the better. But then you have this USAID employee, USAID funded NGO former employee whining because her big bitch ass is not getting a federal check anymore. $262,000 a year. Yep, these are the terms given by, these are the terms that they used to describe what they were doing. They all knew it. Unspoken, secret. They own the DL. We already know it. Don't even bother trying to gaslight us. You can't gaslight us on this shit, bro. So here is this bitch. After the USAID closed down, let me see. Here she is. The same one I showed you a little bit ago, who was the subject of the New York Times article whining about NGOs not being able to operate because of USAID. This is her on her desk. Who is this? Steve Austin, Wisconsin, over on X. Posted this. This is from Cheryl Cowan, who worked for an NGO that was funded by USAID. This was her and her farewell post on LinkedIn. All these employees were living in a fantasy world, thriving on taxpayer money with no accountability. This was her. She obviously gained quite a bit of weight not working. But this is her. $272,000 a year in taxpayer money to do nothing except launder taxpayer money. And now she acts like she's owed something, like it's beneath her to accept a job for 19 bucks an hour. Okay. What a sanctimonious witch. Anyway, let's move on to these Slopcasters, because this is a little bit more involved. These Slopcasters, we know who they are. We have seen the war, and yeah, it is war, of these factions going back. And I have not talked a lot about this. I have not talked about it. I've let it go on in the background. I have not watched these people. I have watched the result of these individuals. I watched the results. And now their empire, well, they never had an empire. What they had was a false sense of security, based on the fact that they had a bunch of followers who were willing to do their dirty work for them, while all they did was sit behind a microphone and bitch about Jews and Trump all day. You know, that shit only goes so far. We don't want to hear. Yep. I'm going to put that over there so you can, it's not just me who recognizes this. And the list goes on. And mighty interesting. This is a very fast moving train. It's very fast moving. I have watched, I tell you what, I have just kind of kept on low volume, but I've definitely been paying attention to it. Laura Loomer. That girl is, woo! You don't ever want to be on the receiving end of her having a bad taste in her mouth about you. Between, who said this? Who is this guy? He's on X. Something dad. I'll have to find his post. He does a really great job. But he said last week or earlier this week, you do not want to be in a post that by data Republican that starts, hello, Mr. blah, blah, blah. You don't want that. And you definitely do not want to get loomered. Got them. Thank you. Patriot dad. Yeah, that was him. You know who I'm talking about. Yep, Patriot dad said you do not want to be on the receiving end of some post on X by data Republicans saying, well, hello. It's like, oh no. Oh shit. She is amazing. Follow her. She's amazing. Data Republican. We follow each other on X. She is really amazing. She of the woman who is the character of the woman who's on the movie The Accountant. I told her that. I think she probably thinks it's hilarious, but she reminds me of that person. If you watch any movie, watch The Accountant. It's a great movie. She reminds me of the woman who helps the accountant. Yeah, between her and Laura Loomer, there's so many, like, I'll just call them anons, that are working in front of and behind the scenes that are absolutely doing God's work and exposing these assholes who have done nothing but steal from us and abuse us for decades on Front Street. And it is amazing. So 0 hour, yep, I like 0 hour. I like 0 hour. There are those who truly are patriots who care about this country. And you know, I have my own story, and a lot of us do, but I don't think these individuals, these slopcasters, understand that we are in a literal fight for the republic. We are in a fight for this republic right now. These demons want to destroy everything because too much of their secrets are coming out. Their money is being taken away from well, it's not their money, it's taxpayer money, but their access to our money has been and is continuing to be cut off. Secretary of the Treasury and IRS, head of IRS, Scott Bessent, said he's changing the Form 990s now. And these NGOs that have been able to get away with not indicating who their donors are, you're done. The 990 form for these NGOs, now you're going to have to say, who the hell has been donating millions of dollars to your damn organization and you don't do nothing but recycle garbage like the SPLC? Isn't that weird that we find all this stuff out? The SPLC has been indicted on several counts, primarily because they are manufacturing racism. How do you even do that? They're manufacturing racism. They're pitting everybody against each other and making fight and manufacturing racism that was never there. They had to create racism. It's not that they had to create it, but they had to keep it to amplify it. They had to bring it back. Thank God for Elon giving everyone their voice back. Absolutely. I am so grateful to Elon Musk and his contribution to the United States. I talk a lot of shit about foreigners too, but Elon is literally an African American. I thought y'all love African Americans. I thought the left loved African Americans. Elon, we gonna just go ahead and take him. He's black now. We gonna go ahead and take Elon because we love Elon. He is just, you know, he doesn't care what you think. He said, not him. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and take him. He's from South Africa, and he's calling out these melanated hate mongers over there that are running white farmers out of South Africa, and then they end up here as refugees. James Owens. I remember. Yep. I remember you sent me your great grandfather's picture over on X. I remember that. I swear we are in some crazy, exciting times, but these I think these slopcasters, I know they got in over their heads. They did not know it was going to get this bad. I thought they'd pick up that check from Qatar or, you know, whoever they're getting money from, Iran, the IRGC, and things where, you know, they just continue to be able to blame Jews for every freaking thing on earth and just keep people fighting against each other. We ain't got time for that shit. Bro, we got midterms. We are literally fighting the forces of evil and darkness right now. These people are demons. They are, their sole stated purpose is to just burn everything to the ground and rule over the ashes. They don't give a shite about rules. They don't care about laws. If they can't break them, then they rewrite them for their benefit. They don't care. They don't care. What they want is for people to just be demoralized, like Republicans have become demoralized in Colorado because of these crank far leftists down at the state capitol. And we don't really have any representation on the Senate level. For example, Michael Bennet and John Hickenlooper, neither of them are from Colorado, and neither of them care about Colorado. But see, they're from the East Coast and the West Coast, and they couldn't get elected at all in states. So they had to come here. Same thing Liz Cheney did in Wyoming. She couldn't get elected where she was from on the East Coast, so she brought her fat ass to Wyoming. And I'm glad they got rid of her and got Harriet Hageman. I've met Harriet Hageman. She's a congresswoman. I think she's running for Senate. She's congresswoman in Wyoming. I met her at a Western Conservative Summit. Harriet Hageman is the real deal, Holyfield. She is really good people. She loves Wyoming, and she is working on behalf of the people of the state of Wyoming. Unlike these bastards here, I see Michael Bennet, and see, I'm all over the place, and I'm gonna stay all over the place. Y'all gonna have to keep up, baby. I love y'all. Keep up. Michael Bennet has all these commercials in Colorado with him shaking hands and kissing babies and shit. That mushmouth bastard don't even see Michael Bennet. Don't nobody see Michael Bennet ever until it's election time. And then he'll show up at a town hall or something and stand there and just screech about Trump this and Trump that. And we got to beat Trump, and we got to fight Trump and Trump and Trump. What are you gonna do? This bastard is trying to fail up farther than he ever failed before. He wants to be governor of the state of Colorado, and so does that mom jeans wearing freakazoid Phil Weiser, who threw Tina Peters in prison for 9 years, along with Jenna Griswold, who's the Secretary of State. All of them are running for higher office after abusing Colorado for years. It's a genetics thing. They want to keep failing up. Their destruction has not been complete because we're still here. They tried to kill a lot of us off during the pandemic. Thank you, Twiggy, for reminding me about the pandemic. They didn't kill enough of us off, so they want to keep, bulldozing ahead. Now back to these Slopcasters. They are in over their heads. They have gone too far. Thank you, baby. I appreciate you. Because I'm out of pocket over here. But I mean well. And I'm just, my husband carried the torch for his military career, and he's not here to continue the mission. So it's my mission now. I got to help save the republic for my children. I don't have grandchildren. My daughter has cats. My son has a dog. My daughter, who's my firstborn, is in heaven because of Obamacare. Ask me why I don't like slim slacks. Yeah, Twiggy, I didn't, that kind of hit me out of left field. I didn't know he was supposed to be here with me now. And he's not. So President Trump is getting us out of forever wars. And I appreciate that. It's a tough way to do it, but it's a necessary way to do it, because when you're dealing with the devil, you can't call him up and expect him to behave. Hugs back, baby. Thank you. We're fighting the evil forces of darkness. This is literally spiritual war. These individuals are no better than the demons that hopped into the pigs in the days of the Bible. They were so scared of Jesus. They were like, what business have you with us? we don't want to, hey, Jesus, we don't want to, we don't want that smoke. we know who you are. We don't want that smoke. We good. You know, they just went over there and hopped into the pigs, and the pigs threw themselves off over a cliff. He is amazing. He gave us President Trump again. God spared his life, and he is saving the republic. And inadvertently, other countries while he's at it. He's given the opportunity for vanity of Nicolas Maduro and the cartels and the drug dealers and Iran. That's right. And we have the president's back. And that's why we don't like these freaking slopcasters who have been trying to pile on our president. We elected him. We voted for him. See, those who are listening to these dumbass slopcasters, they're rich. They got money. Type people. That's right. Twiggy, you get me. Candace Owens didn't have shit. I remember back in 2016 when I first heard about her, and people were so excited about her. I'm like, yeah, well, I mean, I'll watch a couple of her videos. She was on YouTube. She only had a few hundred followers during that time. She just came from out of nowhere. The president took notice of her, and her career just went to the moon. I've been doing this for 10 freaking years. And every time I have got to the point that I have a decent size following and being able to share what I know with people and cause them to action, because cause them to take action, because the Bible clearly says faith out. You can have faith, but you got to move your dang on feet. We got to vote with our feet. We got to keep these politicians the fire under their feet, and we got to just keep the republic. We got to keep the republic, bro. So these slopcasters they're in trouble. And they know it. Look at this. I'll let my homeboy tell it to you, Wes Scott. I'll let him tell you over on the X. Check this out. Thank you, Wes.
Dear God, Wes Scott, America's own. First of all, stop calling me Uncle Tom. It's Uncle Wes. You didn't know?
Right.
What's wrong with you? Show some damn respect. You know, Uncle Tom is the one who taught you niggas how to read. Who else you think did it? He was the closest one to the white people. And if it wasn't him, it was the white people themselves.
Right?
He's still mad and angry. It should have left you dumb. But anyways, does anybody notice anything different?
Yep.
I haven't seen Nick Fuentes stream in a minute.
Uh-oh.
I wonder why.
Where he at?
Maybe it's because we found out the Democrats been paying y'all. This is the grifters y'all listen to. Trying to divide us.
Yep.
We got to know better than that. We got to stick together, baby. This Republican city.
That's
conservative nation. Yeah, the Southern Law Poverty Center. Got caught funneling $3 million to fund racist activists and right-wing activists that were really Democrats in disguise all along. You know, Laura Loomer been exposing Candace Owens hard. We found out that Candace Owens hired a Zionist Jewish lawyer.
Imagine that.
Isn't streaming tonight. She just announced to her fans, "Oh, sorry, I didn't tell y'all. I'm going on a family trip."
Why did Candace Owens just up and go on a family trip by just without? Oh, I didn't tell you. I forgot to tell y'all. After spending day after day after day after day, night after night after night, screeching about Jews, screeching about President Trump, screeching about Palestine, screeching about things she knows absolutely nothing about. Having no receipts, Laura Loomer has receipt after receipt after receipt after receipt after receipt. And I noticed when Laura Loomered that ass, she ain't have nothing to say in the last couple of weeks, not that much. She hadn't been talking shit about Erica Kirk now, has she? Yeah. She got Loomered. Go ahead, keep cooking, Wes.
I ain't streaming tonight. I wonder why. Because that sounds like something I would say if my lawyer just dropped me from the case. I thought you hated the Jews. I thought you hated Zionists.
Right.
But you need them to bail you out. Well, Laura Loomer exposed it and he dropped your ass. What you gonna do now? Apparently, you're leaving the country.
Yeah, she left the country. Laura Loomer posted on X a jet in Egypt that says SPLC Airlines on the outside. Yeah, this shit goes deep, bro. This shit going deep.
I wouldn't be surprised if SPLC is paying you too. See, the problem is this. I love to see a nigga get humbled because this is what happens. Niggas get clout.
Yep.
They get a little bit of fame. They get some money.
Come on.
And then they start thinking they're bigger than the program.
Oh, preach.
Oh, you saw what happened to Kanye. He can't stop apologizing.
Yeah, he's right. Kanye apologized to Jewish rabbis. It was an extremely humbling experience for him. He was very sincere. And I'll go on with this. I'll tell you kind of my thinking, because it's not the mess, it's the method. It's not the mess, it's the method by which these individuals have been doing this shit. It's not the mess, it's the method.
And now he's writing songs about his apologies. Kanye is sick.
Yep.
That's gonna be you too. Look what happened to Diddy. Diddy thought he was bigger than the program. Oh, y'all not doing great. I'm gonna sue the white man. Oh, he wish he didn't do that now. He's sitting in a jail cell, kicking himself. I should have just shut the hell up.
Yep.
You know, Kanye said it best. Even if you in a bed, you're still a nigga in a coup. Now, what you gonna do when the Macrones come for you? They gave you an inch and you took a mile. Just kept running your mouth. I know everything. I'm a know-it-all. I just know everything. Somebody should have told you, shut the fuck up, bitch. You're going too far. But you can't tell a black woman nothing when they start going. Shut up. Keep it down. Don't get us all in trouble. You're going to fuck around and find out, Candace. I pray for you.
Yeah. So there's that. Thank you, Wes. Oh, God. Twiggy says she'll be broke soon. Trump dropped something about her earlier about the deal with France's first lady. Yeah, because she was going around saying the first lady, Macron's wife, was a man, and she was absolutely positively sure. Just like she's absolutely positively sure about Erica Kirk, that, oh, somehow Erica Kirk's working with the freaking Mossad, and you got to come back. You got to tune in tomorrow so you can find out what's going on. I can't tell you right now because of security issues, but if you come back tomorrow, I'm going to sure tell you. I'm going to come back. I'm going to have the information because I got inside information. I got people that I know. I got inside sources, and you coming back for me to tell you what I know. Bitch, you wouldn't be shit if it wasn't for Donald John Trump. You wouldn't be shit. She was a leftist. She was a crank far leftist Democrat. She saw the money on the other side of the fence, though. She saw where the money was. She saw eventually them Democrats were going to crash and burn because their ideas and their religion was completely unpopular. Nobody is going to go along with Saul Alinsky bullshit, rules for radicals. Nobody's going to go along for a long period of time with this Marxist Stalinist bullshit. It crashes and burns. It has never worked. It's communism. It's socialism. It is directly responsible for the murder of 100 million people in just this century. It doesn't work. She saw, oh, wait a minute. If I hop the fence and go over there, I can market myself. I've been at this longer than Candace has. I should be far past her because I've been loyal to the president. I have been loyal to my country. I have been, who do I look like? Propping up Iran, propping up the Gaza Strip against my own country that my husband fought and died for? Bitch, you up out your rabbit ass mind. And it's mighty funny. She hasn't sacrificed anything. She done popped out 4 babies, 4 of them little half-breeds for that Englishman who's wealthy already. So she was bringing in money on her party with, according to Laura Loomer, with TPUSA, and met the rich Englishman. Unbelievable. I keep saying she ain't nothing but another Omarosa. And you see what happened to her. You don't hear from Omarosa no more. She's broke by now. She married a broke dude, and she let the Democrats convince her that if you write a little book lying about Trump said nigga on some tapes. That was 2018. It's 2026. We have still not heard it. Where's the tapes? It's bullshit. Twiggy, God bless you, sweetheart. I appreciate you. I have been there are some people who were around when I used to do Periscopes. But of course, Jack Dorsey shut that down. He shut down my account in 2019 because of Omarosa. I had a Twitter fight with her bitch ass. And yeah, the one who used to play on Will and Grace. I had a large following. Mighty funny, Candace Owens, her accounts on YouTube and Twitter, they never got touched. She talked about the same things I did, but she never got dinged for whatever it was she was doing. And now look, she has managed, and not just her, but others like her have managed to have a large following, and these individuals would throw themselves in front of a moving train if she told them to. It's really bizarre and cultish. These people are freaking nuts. But, you know, she's got her shekels of silver. She's got her filthy lucre. What good is it to gain the whole world but lose your soul? And she started a fight, picked a fight with Emmanuel Macron's wife. I don't know, neither here nor there. No, his wife is much older than him. I don't know. They look odd. That part is true. But if you distribute and disseminate allegations that strong, you better be able to have ironclad freaking receipts. I'm gonna tell you, just to give props where it's due. For one thing, I will always appreciate Candace Owens for one thing and one thing only, and that is her exposing Kamala Harris, that Hindu Horus. A lot of Black folks that would have voted for Kamala did not, once they started to see Candace's exposés of Kamala Harris and her Jamaican lineage and her white Scottish heritage. Nothing about her is of a Black American diaspora. She is not Black on any planet in any way, form, shape, or fashion. Kamala Harris is not a Black woman. She's not. She is Indian. She is Scott, Irish, and Jamaican. She's not Black. When you ask a Jamaican, what do you consider yourself as far as ethnicity and your color or race? They'll say they're Jamaican. They're not going to say they're Black. They will tell you they're Jamaican. They do not identify as Black because they're not Black. Nothing about her is Black. But my point is, I will always appreciate Candace for that one thing. Assisted in exposing Kamala Harris. That had to happen. Okay. I'm just giving props where it's due. I'm not a complete doomer and just, you know, just pile on somebody when clearly there's already something going on. She's going to have to answer for a lot of shit. And Pocahontas, girl, Pocahontas ain't nothing Indian about her. That is a what? Elizabeth Warren is not Indian. But she used it for her career. Anyway, gave Candace props for Kamala Harris exposing her, but that's it. All of this piling on pale feather, piling on Erica Kirk, bro. I'm a widow. I'm a military Gold Star widow. I know how that shit goes. So when I say I know how she feels, I mean it from the perspective. I know people went after her because she didn't mourn correctly. Why? Because she ain't do like people at a Black funeral. She ain't throw herself on top of the casket and say, just take me with them. Oh, Is that what Erica Kirk was supposed to do? She was supposed to just and cut the fool. You wouldn't have been happy with that either. They wouldn't have been happy with that. It wouldn't have been enough. Oh, well, why she acting so damn crazy? No matter what she did, it wouldn't have been right, because they were just determined to pile on this female and to make life difficult for her and her children, who are still here, who watched her husband being assassinated. And I'm talking about these stupid Slopcasters. If y'all cared so much about Charlie, why are y'all piling on that man's wife? Why are y'all piling on that man's wife? Clearly hired Jews to be her attorney, and when the shit came out about her hiring Jews to represent her legally, but she hate Jews, they were like, no, cuz I'm out. I'm gonna have to go. Maybe you need to hire a damn Honduran to represent you. We're out. She hates Zionists. She hates Jews. She hates, but you hire them to represent you in the defamation case with the Macrons. Okay. So you hate them, but you need them. Is that what we're understanding? That's why it's all bullshit. She was getting paid. She was, dude, she knew that. I don't know if she was just running out of ideas or if she was always the way that she turned out to show who she really is. Maybe she was always that way and we just didn't know she was crazy. I've never watched like a whole show. I've watched different clips over the years, but I've never been a fan because I never trusted her. I thought it was just too, I appreciate the knowledge and I appreciate how you testified before Congress on various, all that is great and wonderful, but I don't trust you. Never have trusted her. And then all of a sudden, 6 months ago, when that Charlie Kirk assassination, she started going against his wife. If you cared about Charlie so much, she was involved with TPUSA for a long time. Her and Charlie were friends. And apparently, they used to travel together, according to Laura Loomer, who talks about the trips that they went on and the events and kind of, her involvement with TPUSA. If she loved Charlie as that much and cared about him, why are you piling on his widow like that? Do these dumb Slopcasters consider the fact that Charlie would not have been accepting of y'all piling on the woman he loves? Has anybody thought about that shit? Maybe Charlie would not be happy with a bunch of Slopcasters piling in on his wife. I don't care what y'all think about Erica Kirk. I don't care what it don't matter. That's their personal business. That was between them two. To their conversations when the lights are off, when the cameras are off, when nobody's around. That's his wife. He loved that young woman and was in love with her until the day that they took him out. Do you think he would be happy about all these individuals screeching and being against his wife? That's messed up. No matter what you think. And now they got a bunch of those who claimed to be MAGA infighting over this bullshit that she kept coming up with that she never proved. When Laura Loomer says something, she has 37 screenshots to correspond with whatever it is that she is proving a point about. She doesn't just talk at the side of her neck. She's going to have screenshot after screenshot and sources and connected back to the exact date when she first said it. Very thorough. It's irrefutable evidence. While Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, Nick Fuentes, they over there talking about, oh Lord, you know, allegations and, oh, well, we found this thing from the CIA from 1952 and Erica's parents worked for Bloody Blase. And they were connected to Bloody. This thing that we found, Ian Carroll. I used to like Ian Carroll. It's these individuals, once they get this hating Jews thing, and this is what I mean by the madness with the method here, and where this all gets jacked up is people have been programmed to just blame everything on Jews. That is just a fact. And after a while, it's like, can you just say something constructive without blaming the Jews for everything? Can you just talk like a human being? Can you just give us the story? It's like liberals just blame Trump for everything. Everything that's ever happened that's gone wrong in the world is his fault somehow. That's when people start tuning you out. They don't want to hear what you have to say anymore because you're just, it's like, oh, here we go. And who do you blame for this? You know, it's the same. Look. These people have large audiences. They had people who watched them. Unfortunately, like Nick Fuentes, you had a big influence over young men. And they're more conservative leaning. That's the bullshit part, bro. This Nick Fuentes's and the Tucker Carlsons and the Candace Owens, the Ian Carrolls, they are filling a vacuum where there was something left because young men have been absolutely excoriated by crazy fourth wave feminazis who constantly talk about how they're a toxic masculinity and that, you know, you're not allowed to hold the door for a woman. You're not allowed to talk. You're not allowed to spread. You're not allowed to do anything. You just have to go sit in the corner, pay your taxes and vote for Democrats. And we're still going to call you racist, homophobic, xenophobic, and misogynist and everything else. We don't care. This one. I think it's this one. Yep. By at JTC53 over on X, if you would be so kind as to go over there. And if you enjoy his content, follow him. Panic in Podcastistan. Multiple woke right podcasters have paused their streams for unknown reasons. Candace Owens randomly fled the country. Nick Fuentes has randomly fled the country. Ian Carroll claims he's scared and he's the victim now. Sneeko has paused his streams. I don't even know who these people are. Something is up. It's not looking good for them. So here, Ian Carroll says, in light of David Wilcox's recent tragic death, I just want to check in and say I'm safe and okay, taking a break from the internet for personal reasons. I'll talk more about soon. He gonna blame the Jews. Mental health is fine, not suicidal, love my family and life, haven't received any threats, blah, 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 blah. Candace Owens comes up with no show today. Sorry, I thought I had announced I was traveling with my family. See you guys next week. No, she ain't gonna be back. She has been constantly podcasting, talking shit about Charlie Kirk, Erica Kirk, the Jews, Trump, completely turned her back on the president after having absolute access to him, just like Omarosa. That's why don't nobody trust y'all black ass, because you keep turning your back on him. It's bullshit, bro. Neither one of them skanks would have been shit without Donald Trump. And this is how they repay him. Loyalty is higher above all other things. I don't care how many PhDs you got. I don't care how many degrees you got. I don't care how long you went to school. It is loyalty that is higher above all of these things. Look at these backstabbers. It's unreal. We got midterms coming up, and these clowns came in here and started causing division. And now the Candyland crew, as they're called, they'll come in and pile on you when you're a MAGA, you're a conservative. We just want our country. We don't want it full of commies. We don't want to give everything over to the woke left mob. Y'all ain't no better. It's disgusting. Where is this picture at? Oh, I know, it was Laura's picture. Hold, please. I'm going to go over here and pull this, bring this in. Oh, that's a gem. Maybe I'll have to leave that up for a second. Hold on. All right. I'm trying to find where she posted this earlier. Sorry, my bad. I should have had this pulled up, but I really didn't know I was going to go into it to this degree. But it's important that we know who we need to not give the time of damn day. Because here we go. All right, here, I'm going to pull this in so we can see it. This is what Laura posted earlier or yesterday. Owens was just seen boarding for an international flight. It's an Egyptian plane called SPLC Airways. To the candy cult, we don't just know, we know. And this was her earlier tweet or post. This Candace had to abruptly cancel her show today and travel abroad. This was yesterday that Laura Loomer posted this. She never alerted her audience of her travel plans. Interesting how she's fleeing the country the same day I reported that her Zionist Jewish lawyer dropped her ahead of an important deadline in her lawsuit with the Macrons next week. Remember, I exposed her secret trust, where she's hiding nearly $12 million in real estate, among other assets. Her other lawyer's firm specializes in bankruptcies. Is she moving her money abroad and hiding assets abroad so she can file for bankruptcy? She's fleeing the country. Interesting. Trump lawyer Kasowitz leaves Candace Owens' team in Macron case. And this was just a couple of days ago. He's clearly Jewish. He's a Zionist. Why would she hire a Jew? She hates Jews. Huh. This is nuts, dude. This is absolutely nuts. So she's hiding money, sending it to offshore accounts like a Democrat. So I would say, for the sake of conversation, Candace has always been a Democrat. She just dressed up as a conservative because it served the purpose of getting her career where she needed to be and meeting the rich English. Unreal. Absolutely unreal. Whatever will her followers do? What will Nick Fuentes' followers do? Dude, they were in over their heads. Twiggy said, who is someone in our office or state office bashes Jews, yet his wife owns a massage parlor or something and all her clients are Jews? Oh, that's not Ted Lieu. Is it? It's not Ted Lieu. Who was that? I just had it. Laura just posted that. That was part of this thread. Go back. Oh, whoops. Okay, well, it's, I think it might, is it Ted Lieu? I think it might be Ted Lieu. But you're right. It's one of these members of Congress. Most of her clients in Beverly Hills are Jews. Who is it? I just had it up. It was on Laura. Hold on. Let's find it. I just had it up. And yeah, we follow each other on X. So I appreciate Miss Loomer. I sure do appreciate her. There it is. Let's bring it in. But Laura exposed this clown. Cenk Uygur. That's who it is. Cenk Uygur called Laura Loomer a terrorist and Israeli. All you want. I am neither. Why do you grift so much? She says to Cenk Uygur. He's with the Young Turks, with Anna Kasparian on that Crankbar leftist show. Anna Kasparian wants to be a conservative so bad, but her money is, she's got too much time and money invested in being a crazy, retarded communist. So I guess she's going to continue that. I think she got carjacked or something recently and had to move out of California. Laura Loomer goes on to say, why do you grift so much? You hate Jews and demonize them all day, but you keep it a secret that your wife, Wendy Lang, is a family therapist in Beverly Hills, California, where 70% of the residents are Jewish. Your lavish lifestyle in California is paid for by your wife's Jewish clients. I hope they all drop her and find someone who isn't married to a rabid Muslim Jew hater. Wendy Lang. Whoopsie. Married to Cenk Uygur. Interesting. Huh. Pretty interesting. God, these people. These people. Yeah, so it's Cenk Uygur. Crazy, their show is called The Young Turks. It's funny. Really weird. Yeah, so his wife is probably going to lose a lot of business, and she's going to have to close her psychology practice. Thanks to her fat loser jihadi ass husband. Maybe they can learn to code. Yeah. Other stories we got here. Oh, hold on a second. Very interesting what is going on. So this is trending on X right now. Very interesting. In other news, by the way, we're segueing for a few minutes, and then we'll get off of here because it's the weekend, baby. SBA, Small Business Administration, refers a record $22.2 billion in suspected PPP fraud loans to the Treasury. Oh my gosh, this is not going to turn out right for them. Not going to turn out right. Kelly Loeffler is Trump appointed head of the SBA, and she says today the SBA referred 562,000 borrowers to the U.S. Treasury for a collection on $22.2 billion in potentially fraudulent pandemic-era loans, marking the largest debt referral in SBA history. The action ends a years-long de facto amnesty scheme by the Biden SBA, which refused to refer the portfolio to either Treasury or DOJ, even though the loans were both delinquent and internally flagged for suspected fraud. Under the protection of the Biden administration, none of the borrowers were compelled to repay their debts, and fewer than 1,000 faced any inquiry from law enforcement until today. Yeah, so there's that. So just saying, any of y'all who might have got one of them PPP loans, I know nobody in here is going to be part of that garbage. But if you know somebody who might have taken out a PPP loan, you better either be prepared to pay the money back. That's going to be a problem. What's also trending? A Colorado appeals court upheld Tina Peters' convictions for a 2021 breach of voting systems, but vacated her 9-year sentence on the 2nd of April, 2026. ruling the judge improperly factored in her protected election denialism speech. The court denied her rehearing request this week, sending the case back for resentencing with no date set. Prosecutors plan to seek a similar term. Peters, a Gold Star mother convicted of felonies like attempting to influence a public servant by allowing unauthorized access to Dominion equipment that is fraudulent and ripe with securities violations. And Dominion is also able to have open doors to let foreigners come in and change the results. It didn't say that, but I did. Maintains money data amid tampering fears, while officials highlight the risks to election security. So this is Miss Peters. God bless her. We continue to pray for Tina Peters and her immediate release, because these communists, this fat squishy loser in Colorado, aka Jared Polis, the gay blade, refuses to release her from prison. I don't know if he's scared of Jenna Griswold or Phil Weiser, but for whatever reason, they are trying to hold on to Tina Peters. Now, this is going to come to a head because Todd Blanche, who is the acting attorney general in the absence of Pam Bondi, issued a statement, I believe it was last week, that they need to release her into federal custody. Trump is not going to let this go. Watch. Sometime over the weekend, he's going to say something, and they better be ready to have this woman transferred to federal custody because she is going to have to testify. This is a national freaking security issue. While fat-ass Jenna Griswold is trying desperately to stay out of prison herself, because, you know, God forbid she have to give up all the food she shoves down her gullet. And Weiser is also trying to stay out of prison with all the shit he did. This is a national security issue. Foreign countries accessing our voting systems. And Tina Peters is the only one that called it out. Oh, sorry. I thought, God dog it. I thought I had brought it over. Sorry. I didn't. My bad. Really, I'll just show it to you really quick. This was what I was reading. Sorry, I thought I had brought it over. This is Miss Peters, and Rasmussen posted her memo. Tina Peters posted this earlier, memo, probably through her lawyers. She says, I am still here fighting from the inside these walls. The appeals court ruled my sentencing violated my First Amendment rights, but I remain locked up. My only crime was protecting records so future generations could trust elections. If we do not get rid of the machines, we will lose our country, period. Read the Mesa reports at my website and see for yourself. Thank you for all the prayers and support. All of you have been the reason I have been able to stay in this fight. And we love you and appreciate you. Miss Peters, I pray for you on a daily. Okay. Let's see, where is this report? Mesa report. Where in the world is it? It's somewhere. So it's on her website. Go to her website and pull up the Mesa report where she talks about what actually happened and not the mainstream media or these dumb, stupid politicians who put her there in the first place. I don't know who in the world would listen to them, but go to, I believe it's tinapeters.com. Let's see, maybe it's under here somewhere. Okay, no. It's on our website. But if you would take a few minutes and just read that report, because I'm going to do it too. He said, you used to own a pizza business. During that time, never took a dime because I was essential and was making great money. Did you see about bringing back the firing squad? I sure did. I sure did. The same time, Trump posted treason in a video of all of them. Awesome. That is our president. We love him so much. Yes, we read the same shit. Yes, absolutely. Oh, you guys are going to get a kick out of this one before we sign off for the weekend. Check this shit out. I warn you before you look. I am not responsible for your eyeballs falling out for looking at this ugly bitch. Not my problem. Libs of TikTok. Breaking. And this was 2 hours ago. The Minnesota House Fraud Prevention and State Oversight Committee just gave Ilhan Omar a May 5th deadline to produce documents relating to her involvement in the Feeding Our Future fraud scheme. This comes after she refused to show up for a fraud hearing. She is the one who drafted and helped to pass legislation under the Biden administration to funnel money to the Feeding Our Future scam. During the Biden administration. So this is going to be interesting. We'll see what happens with Ilhan Omar in the coming week. She's got until the 5th of May. They gave her the opportunity to come in. In fact, the Minnesota State House demanded that she come in and explain where all this money was. Now that there's a controversy claiming that she's, $30 million rich, and then the next time that she has to submit a financial disclosure form for Congress, she's like, oh, I ain't got nothing but $10 in the bank. Wait a minute. The year before, you said you had $30 million in assets with your husband, Tim Wynette, and your wineries and his other businesses. Now you only worth $10. In like a year and a half, you down to $10. I started, where is my what is it? Change. I started this a while back, and I am going to dang it, it wants me to do, sorry. Good grief. Okay, I have to enter this darn code. I started this a while back, and it needed to have more traction. It to have Ilhan Omar removed from Congress, it had a reasonable amount of people that signed up, but not enough. So I'll find it and post it on X. I don't see it just yet, but I am going to go on X and sign it. If you haven't signed it yet, repost it, because now is a good time to bring that petition back. Let me see. And because we need to have the support, it needs to show support of the people of this country, that we don't want this individual here. And if the only way that we can do this is to we have to start by having her removed from Congress. We don't need to be paying for Ilhan Omar to sit in Congress. Okay, I did this one. There it is. I found it. I'm going to share it again on X. Matter of fact, I'm going to do it now. Post. Okay. I shared it on X again just now. It got some traction. It needs to get more traction because the they meaning Congress, Mike Johnson, and those who can do something about this have to know and see that this is coming from us, not just from the Minnesota State House, not just from the locals. We want her removed. Because that's federal. We pay her salary. We don't want her in Congress. That's the least y'all can do. She has snubbed her nose at us since she got here. She hates America. She hates the West. She hates American values. She hates Christians. She does not need, she swore in on the Quran. Remember that? She didn't even swear in on the Bible. This is a Christian country. You don't like it? Get your monkey ass out of here. We don't want you here anyway. I'm sure she will not be missed. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. The last thing you said, Twiggy, is the operative term. She signed off on it. She's blaming the accountant. No, it's not the accountant's fault. You signed off on it. You see your return, just like Twiggy said. You went from 30 million and then down to 10 million. And in this, they'll come after you. And I'm not signing that. I'm streaming from like the simultaneous streamer thing, but it's on X. I think it's live on X. Yeah, I'm still live on X. But sign the petition, please. If you haven't signed it, sign it and share it. Excuse me, they need to see that this is an issue we care about. We want her gone. She's useless. She doesn't support us. She said from her own face, she works for Somalia. That's it. I showed you videos last night of Somalia and how they got all these new buildings coming up. They got these new stores, new malls. They got all these new schools. How do you think they got all that money? We want her out. We want her out. She's useless. She don't work for the people of Minnesota. She works for Mogadishu. She don't work for us. We don't need her ass over here. Unreal. All right. It's the weekend, baby. We're going to get going. Another Jellyroll Friday in the bag. But y'all come back now, you hear? As there's a rule about head coverings. Yeah. Yeah, they changed the rule for her. That's right. Sure did. They sure did. They sure did. They changed the rules to accommodate her ugly ass. It's disgusting. We shouldn't have to change our shit for foreigners. She's a foreigner. She's not American. I don't care if they naturalized her. She needs to be denaturalized. Bitch, you stole $30 million and you helped the Feeding Our Future to steal another $100 billion. All of y'all need to go. All of y'all need to go. It need to be mass deportations. We'll talk more about that next week. It need to be mass deportations. We want all these individuals out of here. Y'all hate this country. You can take your bitch ass back to your own country. We don't want you here anyway. You're not serving any purpose. We need all of y'all gone. God bless you, Twiggy. Thank you for hanging out with me and engaging and having our back and forth. You guys, come on back now. You hear? You have a blessed weekend and pray for our president. Pray for this country. Pray for our sister, Tina Peters, at the state of Colorado. She's a hostage. She's a hostage. She is being held hostage. So pray for her, that the Lord gives her strength, is released from that. I don't know if these Colorado reps remember Nicolas Maduro, but the black bag treatment works anywhere that the American military wants it to work. I'll be so glad when Colorado gets put on Front Street. God bless you guys. Thank you, Twiggy. Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate every last one of you. God bless you, and make sure you wake up and say you're grateful for something every morning. Thank the Lord for opening your eyes. And we're going to keep this fight going because this is our country. It's our republic. We ain't got nowhere to go. Where are we going to go? Who going to take us? We ain't got nowhere to go. We got to save this one. Peace out.